feeling good is in the receiving mode. What is it that you are in the mode of receiving? You are extensions of source energy. You are extensions of source energy. Oh, we want so much for you to hear that. You are leading edge, perfectly placed, physically focused extensions of source energy. And when you feel good, your connection, your electrical circuit is wide open to your source. So who you really are is having this moment. That's why you're clearer. That's why you're surer. That's why you have more balance. That's why you feel better. That's why you feel like passion. That's why you feel eager. In that full connection with no resistance, only allowing, you are who you really are. Jerry and Esther, coming from their suite just now, followed two little girls who were so full of themselves, singing down the hallway, bouncing, hair swinging back and forth, so full of themselves, no resistance within their being whatsoever, tuned in, tapped in, turned on, being who you all are born to be. So as you remember that when you are in the place of allowing, you're always allowing that which is good, and therefore it must feel good, then you don't need to worry about somebody saying, oh yeah, well, I'll just do what I want, and feeling good means to me chopping off people's heads or doing terrible things. And we say, come on, you know better than that. You've never ever done anything mean or bad to anyone while you were connected to your source. It doesn't happen that way. Oh, you can get into so much pain. You can have practiced your disconnection so long that it feels better to you when you are around others who are miserable. Because you are right when you say misery loves company. Because when others are miserable around you, there's no misalignment of energy. In other words, when you're miserable and you're around others who are miserable, it's sort of a nice, smooth, steady stream. And nothing ripples you more than some bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, shiny-faced, happy-eyed, sparkling person who says that they are the creator of their own reality and thinks you should be too. You'd like to punch their lights out, wouldn't you? And the reason you want to do that is because their vibration is so connected to source that when they are in your face or in your vibrational field, you are brought up to the keen, short awareness of how far you have departed from who you really are. But you will never offer anything that is unkind or opposite of uplifting from your place of connection. It cannot happen. Sometimes we notice that you are standing in a place that you do not want to be and frustrated in your awareness that you are not where you want to be. And in that frustration, the frustration itself is your indicator that you are right now misaligned with who you are and with what you want. Sometimes you feel defensive about that. You want to explain why you're there. And we say, a little bit of that can be helpful because that could put you in step one. In other words, the more you chew on what you don't want, the more clearly you know what you do want. And so when you are in that uncomfortable place, you are certainly applying step one all over the place. But we would encourage that you spend less time in step one and more time in step three. Step two, not your work. Source energy takes care of that. So what do we mean by that? Well, don't spend too much time trying to defend where you are. Don't argue for your limitations by explaining how long you've been there. Sometimes people come to the hot seat and they want to talk about an issue. And we say, we'll hear you briefly, but we really don't want to spend very much time talking about your issue, because when we talk about your issue, what we do is keep activated the vibration that you've already been practicing. And when we keep activated the vibration that you've already been practicing, the vibration that has already shown you is not going to get you to where you want to be, then this becomes another exercise in futility, because all we do is practice the vibration that isn't working for you. Well, sometimes they can't even reach for the other thought because that vibration is so dominant, and sometimes it feels like they just need to talk about it. And we say, we really don't want to talk about it very much. We want to talk about something that feels good. And they'll say, but I can't talk about this and feel good. And we say, then let's talk about something else. And they'll say, but I'm here to talk about this. And we say, but that is your problem. And they say, we know that's our problem. That's why we want to talk about this. And we say, yes, but talking about your problem only continues to activate the problem and holds you apart from the solution. And they say, But I don't know what the solution is. That's why I'm here. I want to tell you what my problem is so you can give me the solution. And we say, yes, but if you activate your problem, you can't hear the solution. And they say, give me my money back. We have a new process that we're offering called virtual reality. You spend 30 seconds there. And you pretend like you're a director of a movie where you get to choose the setting, you get to choose where it's happening, you get to choose the time of year, you get to pick your favorite place, your favorite time of year, your favorite time of day, your favorite sun in the sky, your favorite air upon your skin, which will induce your favorite mood. And then you get to choose your favorite people that are there, maybe it's only you, and you get to choose your favorite thing to say. Sometimes it is better that way. The idea of it is to get in, feel good, get out. As Esther began playing the game, she understood our motive because she recognizes that even as good feeling as she usually is, that she has some beliefs that she's carried around all of her life that still are dominant within her vibration, beliefs that do not serve her. And as she feels some of them surface from time to time, and as she listens to so many of you talking about things that have happened to you before, and she realizes the struggle that you are in, she said to us one day, Abraham, I can damn well choose which vibration is dominant within me. And we said, well, we had hoped it would feel more positive to you. But it is a good first step. Because you certainly can choose, and it takes that sort of determination, I'm going to choose which vibrations are dominant. But many times you are not prepared to choose. In other words, when you get focused upon a subject, something causes it to activate within your experience, it activates right where it usually activates. And sometimes there's already enough momentum going with it that you just can't find a thought that is different from it. That's why you keep practicing the same thought. So this game of virtual reality is a game for one reason only. It's only for you to practice choosing thoughts and making them dominant. It's really more about you showing yourself that you can take a thought, a simple thought, focus on it, make it dominant, so that you gain confidence enough that you can then begin to take some of those other beliefs that are hindering you and gently modify them. Because if there is something missing from your life right now, you've got to change some vibration. If there's something in your experience right now that you don't want, you've got to change some vibration. You cannot continue to bip along in the habitual pattern of offering thought and have anything in your experience change. You've got to change it. Esther took 10 years of piano lessons when she was a little girl. Well, she was little when she started. And she did 100% of her practicing at the lesson. She had a very nice piano teacher. They enjoyed each other very much. They always had a good time, half an hour a week. And as a result, Esther can play a pretty nice tune. But we want you to practice more than at the lesson. We want you every day, if you are really serious about changing your vibration, we want you to begin to play this game of virtual reality several times every day, until before you know it, you will be able to choose which vibrations you want to make dominant. Never again was something that happened when you were 3 or 5 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, something else that happened that was so dominant that it caused you to offer a vibration. Never again will something other than what you choose be your dominant vibration. And when that happens, you are then the deliberate creator of your own experience. Because it turns out, creating is really about letting in what you've already easily chosen as you have moved through the contrast of your time-space reality. It's not so much about goal setting. The goal setting happens. It's about aligning to your own goal. Good.